Good morning, my dear students of class 10. Okay, here we are proceeding to the next chapter, that is chapter 9, and with the reduced syllabus a lot of things has been removed from this chapter. So we are just going to do the gist of the chapter, because whatever is left in the syllabus, it is very simple. These are very simple topics left, okay, like you have seen everything whatever you are going to learn today in your day-to-day life around you in your homes. All right, now what we are going to do today is in this class is essential components of house wiring system. Now all of you have got electricity supply at home. Okay, now electricity, just having electricity supply at home, it is not enough. You should be connecting certain devices and components to the different parts of your houses. Like if there is an appliance, the appliance has to be operated through a switch, isn't it? Now switch, again one more safety device has to be connected so that the device is safe, isn't it? That safety device is called fuse. Likewise, in the beginning, whenever there is construction going on, people dig a big hole underground and they just put salt and charcoal and they just take a wire, that is called earthing, so that excessive current goes into the earth. Okay, so let's do all these one by one. All right, so let's begin with the first component. The first component is fuse. Now in olden days we used to have cartridge type of fuses, but nowadays we have something called MCB. Alright, let's do both one by one. Now fuse, coming to the definition directly, it is a safety device, because fuse is used to safeguard any appliance or the entire circuit of the house, which is used to limit the current in the electric circuit. Alright. The use of a fuse safeguards the circuit and the appliances connected in that circuit from being damaged. So fuse is like the security guard of the house. Okay, if any danger comes, it has to encounter this fuse first. Okay, and the fuse is going to melt down so that the circuit is broken and no current will be flowing into the appliance. That is the purpose of a fuse. Okay. Now on which principle does a fuse work? It works on a very simple principle. The principle is heating effect of current. So whenever there is current passing through a wire, the wire gets heated up. Okay, and fuse is such a wire which cannot take a lot of heat. On passing of a small amount of heat, it just breaks down. Okay, now this breaking down is a main property of this fuse wire. All right, now fuse wire, what is the material used for a fuse wire? It is made up of an alloy of lead and tin. Okay, now this alloy has got a special property that it has got a very low melting point. Low melting point means it will melt very fast even for a small amount of heat passing through the wire. Alright. Then how does it work? It is always connected. You have an appliance, say you have a geyser. Okay, so this is the appliance. Just before the appliance, you have to connect a fuse. This is how we represent fuse in a diagram. Okay, and then this is the mains and the other part of the circuit. Now this will be your live wire, okay, which will be carrying the high potential, and the other one is for the return path of the current. This is called the neutral wire. Alright, the function of the neutral wire is to complete the path of the current, because unless the path of the current is completed, the appliance will not work. Okay, now this fuse, this is the fuse. Now whenever there is excessive current flowing through the mains due to some fault in the circuit, okay, now this has got a very low melting point. That means on passing of high current, it will get heated up and it will break down. Now there is nothing here and the circuit breaks and the appliance will not receive any current and it is safe. It is saved from any damage. Alright. Now to which wire should you connect a fuse? A fuse should always be connected to the live wire and never to the neutral wire. Let's see why. Okay, live wire, you have seen how it works. It is carrying the main current, that is high potential. Okay, whenever there is excessive flow of current, the fuse will break and the appliance is saved. Now everything is safe now. Now let's see what happens if you connect the fuse to the neutral wire. So you have the mains Alright. Then from here directly I connect the appliance. Okay. And here I connect the fuse, which is going to be a foolish thing to do, as current, the high potential is still, even if excessive current flows through the wire, okay, the fuse will break, okay, but still the appliance is connected to the high potential of the mains, okay. Now if you touch this appliance, you will get a shock because of the high potential, so it is not safe to connect a fuse in the neutral wire. I hope that is clear to you. Now coming to the next point regarding a fuse, that is called current rating of a fuse. Current rating will be written on the fuse itself, okay. Current rating is the maximum value of current which will be allowed through the fuse. Exceeding that value of current, the fuse will break down. Alright. Suppose I have current rating of a fuse as 5 ampere. Okay. Now 5 ampere means any current exceeding 5 ampere, if it crosses the fuse, it will break down. Alright. Now whenever you you connect the fuse to an appliance, you have to carefully look at the current rating, knowing the current rating of the appliance as well. These two have to match. Alright. Now how to find out the current rating of a fuse in a circuit? Current rating of a fuse in a circuit. The formula is total power of all the appliances in the circuit. For a big circuit, you have to connect a main fuse. Alright. So for the entire appliance, you have to calculate the total power looking at the power rating, okay, divided by the voltage of the supply. Okay. Suppose you have in a circuit television set, electric bulb. In a circuit, electric bulb, the power rating is 60, television set, the power rating is, power rating is 60 for electric bulb, and television set, the power rating is 120 at 220 volt. Now for these two, how are you going to find the current rating for this particular circuit which contains an electric bulb and television set? Power for bulb is 60, television set is 120, and the supply voltage is 220. Alright. Then you just add up these two, 180 by 220. Then you are going to just divide them. Okay. Whatever will be the value will be the current rating of the fuse to be used to this particular circuit in which you have connected the television and the bulb. Okay. So you should know the power rating of the appliance to know the fuse that is to be connected to the circuit. But this is the basics about fuse. Nowadays, if you look at the entrance of your house, you have seen a box in which small switches are there. Okay. Now these switches are nothing but MCB. MCB, the full form is miniature circuit breaker. So it is also a fuse, okay, but the name given to it is miniature circuit breaker. What happened in olden days is that you used to use that cartridge type of fuse in which the wire would melt, okay. On melting the wire, you had to go to the shop and replace the fuse totally, okay. But nowadays we have this miniature circuit breaker. If it detects any excessive flow of current, it will break for a short interval of time. The reaction time of this is very fast, okay. It will detect the excessive flow of current very fast, and then it is going to break the circuit for a while, and after again repairing the fault, you can just put it on back, okay. So this is how a miniature circuit breaker works, okay. Next we have the next component. This is all about fuse and MCB, okay. Next we have switches. Now switch, all of you have seen and used a switch. It is an on-off device. You put on or off a device using a switch, right? And it is again connected in the live wire. Alright, now the function of a switch, you all know, you put on the switch, the current will flow through the circuit and the appliance will work, and if you put off the switch, the circuit will break and again the appliance will stop working. Now, why do we connect the switch in the live wire? The switch should always be connected in the live wire. Why should it not be connected to the neutral wire? Suppose I have a bulb or any appliance for that matter, okay, then the supply is here, the mains is here, and I have connected the switch to the neutral wire. So this is the live and this is the neutral, and I have connected switch to the neutral wire, which should not be done. Let us see why. Okay, now you put off the switch, the circuit breaks, fine, the bulb will stop glowing, but what happens is that the bulb is still exposed to the high potential of the supply, isn't it? Because live wire carries the higher potential and neutral wire carries the zero potential, that is the ground. Now, if it is still connected to the high potential, is it safe to carry out any repairs using this one even if the switch is off? No. So that is why you should not connect the switch to the neutral wire. Alright. Now, safety precaution while using a switch, it should not be touched with wet hands, because the water in your hands will form a connective layer, because water is a conductor of heat, electricity. So it will form a connective layer and you are going to get a shock, because your fingers will be at a higher potential and your feet will be at the ground. So you will get a shock if you touch the switch with wet hands. Okay. Then coming to earthing or grounding. Earthing means connecting a terminal of the appliance or terminal the main supply to the ground. Okay, so it is also called grounding. So earthing. Why earthing is done? There are two ways of earthing to be done. One is local earthing. Okay, local earthing, how it is done? This is the ground. You dig a hole. Okay, you put salt plus charcoal. Alright, then from here you have a big rod. Then from here you put a thick copper wire. Alright, and it has gone to kilowatt hour meter. So local earthing has to be done from the meter of the house. Alright, now this is the thick copper wire. This is the hollow pipe through which from time to time you need to fill water, so that the connection between this ground and this one is established. Alright. Now, what happens? How does it provide safety? If due to some reason such as short circuiting, an excessive current flows through the line wires, it will pass to the earth through the earth wire, because earth has got zero potential. It can take in any amount of charge but still remain at the zero potential. So even if it carries a lot of charges, it goes directly to the ground. Okay, and the appliances and the entire circuit of your house is saved from any damage. Okay, it also saves the wires from catching fire, because if there is excessive flow of current, the wires will get heated up and it may catch a fire, but if it directly goes to the ground, the wires do not catch fire. Alright, coming to the next one, earthing of an appliance. This was local earthing. Alright, next we will come to earthing of an appliance. How is it done? You have an appliance. Okay, this is called element of the appliance, and this resistance and all, it is all a part of the appliance. You connect a switch. Okay, this is the live, this is the neutral, and from on the body there is a hole terminal provided which goes to the earth connection. Okay, so if there you can see a hole. terminal, that is the terminal for connection to the earth, okay, and that has to go to the earth connection of the house, alright. So if there is any excessive flow of current, any excessive flow of current will be directly taken to the ground through this terminal, okay. That is how an appliance can be earthed, okay. Now coming to the next component of the house wiring system, plug and socket, and we usually use 3-pin plug and socket, okay. Plug, it has got 3 pins. Pin number 1, pin number 2, this is for the earth, one is for the live and another one is for the neutral, okay, and it has to be connected to the socket, so the holes also will be according to the size of the pins, okay. Now this earth pin, it is very important, it is, you can see it is made longer and thicker. Why is it made longer? Okay, so that whenever you plug in the plug into the socket, the connection to the earth has to be made in the beginning, okay, and thick, so that even by mistake you don't insert the earth pin into the live and the neutral sockets, okay. That is the reason why the earth pin is made thicker and longer. It has got two reasons: longer because connection has to be made in the beginning, and thicker because it has to be inserted in its particular point, alright. And socket, of course, you have to just plug in the plug into the socket looking at the size of the holes, okay. Now while you handle the plug and socket or any electrical appliance, you have to keep certain safety precautions in your mind. The first one is your hands must be completely dry. Even if you are handling a switch, your hands must be dry, and even if you are handling a plug and socket, your hands must be dry. Second thing, the plug pins should fit in the socket tightly. The connection has to be made tight, okay. If there is any loose connection, it will give rise to sparkling and burning of either the socket or the plug. If you have noticed, if the plug and socket is not tightly fitted, you can see black marks around the holes. That is because of sparkling, which is causing heating of the plug and socket, alright. So these are the safety precautions while you handle any electrical appliances. And one more safety precaution you have to keep in mind: you will never repair any fault in any appliance when the switch is on. The switch has to be off whenever you are repairing any fault in the appliance, alright. So that is all in this class. Hope to see you in the next class. Thank you.